A liberal goes to a Trump rally. You would think it was the beginning of a joke, a rather implausible one at that, but no. It's the subject of a brand new viral video featuring a fellow by the name of Daniel Donner, a self-described liberal from L.A., which is almost redundant, who decided to attend a Trump rally to see if he could find common ground and make some friends there. And so that's exactly what he did. He went to a Trump rally in Tennessee, and to his surprise and amazement, he found that everyone there welcomed him. When he revealed to everyone that he was a liberal, rather than hostility, he was greeted with kindness and invitations to dialogue or just simply enjoy the event, and then let's see if you're still a liberal. No cancel culture, no accusations, no hostilities, just genuine community rooted in the timeless values of faith, family, and freedom. Here's Daniel describing his experience on Fox and Friends.
Welcome back. Our next guest is a liberal who is going viral for reaching across the aisle to make new friends at a Trump rally.
I'm a liberal, and I went to a Trump rally to see if there was common ground. Going in, I was expecting aggression, but I actually experienced a lot of kindness. Do you want to be friends?
Of course. Loved everybody.
Sure. I'm going to get a hug.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
That last clip was Holly, and she invited me to a women's Bible study, so Malik and I went.
This is Samuel, one of Holly's friends.
And again, we experienced incredible kindness.
They're a fun group of people.
I'm a liberal, and I went...
TikTok user 100 New Friends, a.k.a. Samuel Donner, joins us right now from L.A. Samuel, good morning to you.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Great to meet you. We saw this. We thought we got to talk to this guy. So the idea was you wanted to go to what you, as a liberal, thought would be a hostile environment, a Trump event, and have that turn out.
It actually was much more friendly than I was expecting. I mean, as like growing up in LA, you think that these events are going to be like very aggressive. And also I was kind of just saying that I was a liberal, but I was absolutely like baffled that people wanted to talk and would actually be friends with me when I asked, want to be friends? And they said yes.
That's right. So ultimately, I think what you found is that it is easy to find common ground with people you do not agree with politically, right?
Yeah, I think that's what like 100 New Friends in Jubilee is about. That's the company I'm working with. Is we're just trying to find common ground between humans, and I think like at the end of the day, humans have a lot more common ground than we're led to believe. So.
Right. Let's take a look. Here's another clip. You trying to find common ground with more humans.
I'm a liberal, and I'm trying to make friends at a Trump rally to see if there's more common ground than I thought.
You want to be friends?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm Sam. What's your name?
I'm Todd.
Can you tell me about your shirt?
We're non-binary.
What does that mean?
Well, that means that we are very much against what our current socialist president is doing. We have a tremendous racial problem. We don't have to be part of that. We're not a part of that. We support people of all races, and so anybody that says that Republicans are racist are absolutely incorrect.
What a great concept. And I love that non-binary shirt. We've actually got one just like that in our merch store that you can get by clicking on the link below. And that fellow that Daniel was interviewing, he was absolutely right. What leftist activists and legacy media appear totally incapable of realizing is that the MAGA movement is the single most pro-life political movement in the nation. And there is no way to reconcile the belief that every single human being has God-given innate dignity and worth, and that some races are superior to others. Those are two fundamentally mutually exclusive positions. But if you're in the legacy media, if you're a left-wing nut, you reconcile that by claiming all pro-lifers are patriarchal misogynists and all MAGA patriots are xenophobic racists. So it's only by unfairly disparaging the MAGA crowd that the legacy media tries to pass off what any rational person could see as a fundamental contradiction on their part. Now, this video reminded me of a similar occasion. I'm sure many of you remember this. It's back from the 2020 election. Carolyn Borisenko, she's an outspoken liberal in her own right. She, too, attended a Trump rally, and here's what she found.
There I am.
So the day started out actually at an MSNBC live taping that was taking place a couple blocks away from the Trump rally. And I kind of went there first because I was very nervous about going to the Trump rally. And I went there first because it was more of a comfort zone and just started chatting with people. And everyone I told, I was like, I'm thinking about going over the rally. And they were like, don't do it. They're horrible people. They're the lowest of the low. They're going to harass you. One woman actually offered me her pepper spray to take with me. And I was like, no. I think I'm going to be fine. It'll be okay. And so then I went over to the rally and, you have to get there early because the line is really big and long. And you're just kind of hanging out and chatting with people and discovered these are not bad people. There was not a Klan uniform in sight. I didn't meet a Nazi that I am aware of. There's normal everyday people like veterans and school teachers and small business owners that just had different ideas about how the country should run.
How shocked were you? I mean, it sounds obvious, right? The way you're saying it now, it's like, of course it's obvious. These are regular people. They just happen to have different political thoughts than what is sort of more mainstream accepted. But for you, as someone that wasn't part of this bubble, you get there and you start seeing this. Like, were you just like completely blown away?
I think I was more relieved than anything, honestly. I think I was just like, oh my God, these are people that I can have a conversation with, because that's something that is very void in the Democratic space, is you have to agree with everyone. And if you don't agree with them, you're a horrible person. And so I had for a long time kept I've always been a centrist, really. I've never been terribly far left. And I'd always kept my views to myself, whereas like these people, I was having robust conversations with them even in line. And I let it slip a couple times, oh, I'm a Democrat. And they were like, oh my God, welcome. You were so glad you're here. And that was very different than what I was expecting.
Now, what you just said there is so key to all of this, and it's something that Emperor Biden, when he's not falling off bicycles, will never, ever admit, and the left-wing activists disguised as journalists hide. They only rarely admit to it. The MAGA movement cuts across the grain of traditional partisan politics. And it's not just the MAGA movement here in the States. The same thing is happening throughout Europe as well. What we have to remember is that the MAGA movement represents an astonishing realignment in our politics. Scholars actually call it de-alignment, meaning that the old political loyalties that characterize certain demographics over the last several decades, particularly the association between the white working class voter and the Democratic Party since the days of FDR, those have broken down. And as a result, we're seeing mass defections among lifelong multi-general Democrats leaving the party and voting for MAGA-based candidates. We really saw this back in 2016 when nearly 200 counties in Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan, Pennsylvania that had voted Democrat in every single presidential election since the 1980s, often by a 20-point margin, suddenly swung over and voted for Trump by a comparable 20-point margin, representing a 40-point swing. The swing was so dramatic, it was so significant that even if Hillary Clinton got the same turnout among blacks as Obama got, she still would have lost the election. So being a Democrat at a Trump rally isn't a radical exception. You're actually part of a new movement that's made up of a significant number of ex-Democrats. And now we're beginning to see a comparable defection among a mass number of Latinos over to the Republican Party. And again, this is key. To the extent that the Republicans have embraced Trump's uncompromising populism, Latinos will continue to defect. They're not defecting to the Republican Party because of Liz Cheney or Mitt Romney or any other Republican that CNN or MSNBC or the New York Times displays as the paragon of political virtue. Those people are actually poisonous to this political paradigm shift, which is precisely why the mainstream media champions them so much. No. The common enemy to the disaffected Latino and the disaffected white working class voter and the disaffected black male and the disaffected parent and soccer mom and the like, the common enemy to all of this is an arrogant, dismissive, contemptuous ruling class that shows nothing but disdain and derision towards the values, interests, and concerns that animate these voters. That is the key. As long as the Republicans embrace Trumpist populism, they will assemble a massive multiracial, multi-generational, multi-regional coalition united by a common goal to restore a government that they feel is responsive to and representative of their concerns and values. That is the recipe for electoral victory going forward. Not Mitch McConnell, certainly not Liz Cheney, not listening to the New York Times and the Washington Post. No, populism, the people versus the political class. That is the key to massive, massive electoral success at federal, state, and local levels. And in many respects, that's exactly what we're seeing here. We're seeing liberals enter into the lair, as it were. They're going to Trump rallies, and they're blown away by a very powerful and very attractive political movement that's not just sweeping across the United States, but in many other parts of the world as well. Wonderful stuff. As always, make sure to smack that bell. Be my friend and smack that bell and subscribe button. And you'll definitely want to check out my latest video on how the Mar-a-Lago raid is unraveling right before our very eyes. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.